Hey everybody, it's Alexia from amysticspath, back with another weekly energy video for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Now, this week, I just want to go ahead and dive right in and show you guys, let you guys know what it is that I see and what it is that I'm feeling for the energy of this week and how we need to work with it for our best benefit. So what I'm feeling this week is kind of the energy of examining where it is that you currently are and where it is that you ideally are trying to get to and the next step within that. What is your next step? Okay, and I kind of see this energy of looking what's your next step, examining that, and going forth and just wanting to get it done, knocking out and like slaying any obstacles that are in your path, and just moving forward to achieve this next step that you're looking at, and that is the energy of what it is that I'm feeling for this week. Now, when we get into the cards, how this energy is going to affect us the most, we have the Five of Swords and the element of air. And this is almost like a message coming into you that it is time for you to take your power back. You may have been defeated or got slipped up into some uncomfortable feelings and making you feel like you're like less than what you really are, or just kind of controlled by your circumstances. Whatever it is, this is a message to take your power back. This lady, she's kind of like walking down the street and she sees this guy and these guys and they're loading all of these swords into this into this vehicle, and she's like, hey, that's mine. What are you even doing with it? How do you even have that? And it's like the realization of maybe you didn't even realize that you were less than in your most powerful state, or maybe you did, and it's just coming to the point where, okay, I got to get myself up off the floor and really, take this power back of mine and be in control of your life and what it is that you have going on. Now, how this energy is going to affect us emotionally, or not emotionally, mentally, we have the Queen of Pentacles and the Eight of Water. And I'm seeing this as the energy of really invoking confidence. And I say this in such a way because I don't want you guys to get confused. It's not like that you're not confident, but it's kind of getting yourself together, getting ready, and making to the point where you are feeling good about yourself. You're feeling presentable. You're feeling good about you're liking the way that you look. You're proud of that, and not even really on so much of a superficial level, but for some of some of us, it is kind of getting yourself ready, getting yourself together, and really invoking that like confidence and feeling good about yourself. And whatever that is for you. For some people it's looks, for some people it's different, but it's kind of this energy of really just bringing up this confidence and feeling good about yourself in the way that you have to do that, so you don't fall victim to kind of succumbing to your emotions and what's kind of going crazy within your subconscious, or whether it's in your subconscious or your conscious. It's really just not falling victim to what it is that's going on underneath it all, what's going on that other people can't see, that you are internally dwelling and dealing with, and you are kind of putting yourself into this space where you're feeling good about yourself, to give you that boost of confidence to go forth and do what it is that you have to do, or to kind of conquer this this octopus of the subconscious, what it is that's really bothering you, and being able to go forth and knock through the obstacle that may be keeping you down, so you can go to this next step, this next phase on your path. Now, what I'm seeing for how this is going to affect us emotionally, we have the Death card, as well as the Nine of Air. And what I'm seeing within this is that this is the release, or the need to release the idea or the thought that everything that you see or that comes into your your reality or your vision that you don't understand or that you may perceive as a threat. Not everything is actually a threat to you, and not everything is a battle that you have to obstacle. And I kind of see this as, you know, a number of different things. So if something is coming into you, it's almost like a distraction, and it's not even really for you to kind of, you know, have to defeat and battle and ingrain your energy into this. It's kind of just there. It may be a battle for somebody else, but it's not necessarily a battle for you to be engulfing your energy into. Almost like maybe you are kind of running to help other people with the problems that they are having, which is all well and good, but we have to realize that there's a time and a place, and right now we have to spend our energies on focusing on our next step and where we want to go. And it's kind of releasing this energy of always being in a place of coming to save everybody and defeat everybody else's obstacles and problems, because that's a coping mechanism for not dealing with your own obstacles and your own problems that you are having in your own life. So it's releasing this energy of going and trying to fix everybody else's shit and focusing on going and dealing with your own stuff. Okay. Now, what I see with how we need to work with this energy, we have the Knight of Pentacles and the Nine of Fire. And this is really coming through as taking things slow, because when we look at the Knight of Pentacles, he knows where he's going. He's not afraid that he's going to get lost. So he's not really in a rush. He knows it's going to take some time to get there. So within this, we have to realize that we have to be practical. We are invested in what it is that we're doing. So it's very practical, invested energy, but also realizing that sometimes things take time and that there's still some things that you might have to learn and acquire along the way. So the more that you try to rush and push, because that's the initial energy that we're feeling is to rush and push. And I was feeling this last week as well. But we have that energy. I want to kind of take a second to break this down for you. We have that energy to rush and push forward with force, because this is motivation for you. So we're feeling this very strong energy to rush and force and push and exert our will. But this is motivation for you to get up off your butt, take your power back, and get it done. It's not that you have to literally run full steam ahead towards the finish line. It's that you may be in a place where you're stuck and you're feeling down and you're feeling pinned down. And without this rage of getting up and getting through it and getting it done, despite what's in front of you, and like plowing through that is what is necessary to literally get you up off your butt and to get you pushing to move forward. So you are feeling this energy of rush and to kind of clear out your path, but realize that you have to be knowledgeable enough to know that just rushing through, especially in foreign territory, if this is something that you've never done before, is going to cause more problems than good, because you're coming up against issues that you have not came up against, or you are faced with this situation that you've never been faced with. So you have to come to a place where, okay, there is some things that I kind of have to take this a little bit slowly, look at it, and see what it is that I need to do. And I say that because this card here, when we are looking at the Nine of Fire, this is kind of taking a step back from those fiery emotions that we are feeling in the external. He's going within to gain enlightenment. So he's going within to seek answers to things that are driving him crazy, or things that are kind of hard to see in the physical or in the, in the conscious realm. So what these cards are saying is that we are kind of taking it slow, because there may be some, we may be venturing down, new territory. We may be going towards this next step, and it's foreign and it's different and it's a little frightening. So we are taking the time to center ourselves and gain enlightenment and take a slower approach, so we can see things as they come, and we can listen to the messages and seek for the messages on how to get through things the right way the first time, without having to make a bigger mess than what's necessary, because all you want to do is run through and rush through and kind of knock things over, because you're trying to kind of get to this finish line, but you're rushing through and you're knocking things over. You're creating destruction on your path as well. And just because you feel like, oh, you're blowing through it, doesn't mean that you don't have to deal with the aftermath of your mess. And I want to make sure that that is very clear, because this energy is so rushy and so pushy. Now, the conclusion cards, we have the Six of Wands and the Eight of Air. And this is telling me that you are still having some issues with how you feel that you are going to be victorious, or the lack thereof, that there is some level of doubt and illusion or perception that you are living in. It could be self-doubt, it could be elements of self-loathing, it could be, trauma from issues that were like not so nice things have been said about you or whatever, that you're stuck in this place of that you couldn't even, part of you is feeling like you couldn't even fathom or realistically see yourself in this victorious phase, and that you're kind of battling with this, like you and your higher self are kind of battling against this kind of cage that you're in, and seeing how successful that you could potentially be, and believing that that's going to come in. So we kind of have to shake that illusion. We kind of have to shake that perception that things won't come in, or that we won't be successful, or that we won't get a good return, or even if we do things in a amazing, magnificent way, that people aren't going to see it the way that you want to. And you have to kind of shake that energy, because when you have that energy, you're putting that limitation on the thing that you want. And we want to wipe away all the limitations that we are putting on ourselves, because we don't want to limit ourselves. We want to get to where it is that we want to go, and above and beyond, to experience things that we never even thought we could experience in this life, or things that we never even expected to experience in this life. So really, it's you wipe away that perception and get out of that self-loathing or self-doubt or lack of confidence mentality that might be stuck there. And it might even, for some of you, it might even be something that you literally just have to battle, that you literally have to push away. But for some of us, it's really more engulfing for that, or more engulfing than that. Okay, and I pulled some supporting cards as well. And within this, we have the Ace of Wands, the Emperor, Temperance, and Two of Cups. And I'm so glad that I pulled these cards, because we have the energy of moving into a calmer territory. And this has been the focus and the goal point for months, is moving from this chaotic energy to where like the tower came down. It's like still putting the pieces back together after Pluto and Saturn went direct, like seriously. So it's been this, gradual energy of moving towards calmer water, but some of us haven't really gotten there quite yet. And we see the Ace of Wands as this creative idea, or this passionate thought, or this passionate message that comes through, which is the next step that you're looking at. But when we are looking at this fire energy and we're looking at the Emperor, we have to take some of his qualities and leave some of his qualities within this, because the Emperor is very, very successful. He's gotten to where he is off of his own strength and his own doing and his own determination. Okay, so there's very, very good qualities in here, and very good qualities that we need to adapt, which is determination and being rooted in what it is that you want, and the success in that, and like living in that energy. But there's also the ego that is attached to this. And when we're getting into this fiery masculine energy, which is Sagittarius, which is where we're at right now, which is why we're feeling the need to like rush and get it done, because Sagittarius is all about growth and expansion. We have to check our ego, because getting to this place that we're trying to go, like it's making sure that you're not like holding yourself as like feeling like you're higher than others because of what you have achieved, or what you're set out to to achieve, you're trying to achieve. So we're checking our ego and making sure that like it doesn't get inflated, and that we're not coming off of like rude or insensitive or things like that, that kind of like the bad traits of the emperor. We want to kind of, take, like, look at it and take and choose, because we are aware of this energy and aware of how it's going to affect us. So we kind of want to be aware of what it is that will work for us, take that. What it is that's not going to work for us, the side of the energy that is not helpful for us, we want to be aware of that and push that part away, or use pieces of it to our advantage. But we have to be aware of all of the elements of the energy, okay? And we also, when we're looking at temperance, this is all about balance. So we're, again, when I was saying that we are picking what's helpful for us and pushing away what's not, with temperance, we are kind of trying to create this new thing out of balance, and we're kind of taking these different pieces so something can be balanced. So we're taking this element of the Ace of Wands, of this creative, passionate idea comes in, and that's, your next step. So we take that piece. We're taking the structure and the willpower and the determination of the Emperor, and we're putting that with that piece. Okay. And then temperance is its own piece in general, because it's a peaceful, harmony, calming energy, because it is rooted from balance. Okay, and we kind of also see this energy of kind of sitting back and focusing on what it is that you're doing, or what it is that you want to bring in. Because again, the Two of Cups pops up, but when I'm looking at the Two of Cups today, I see as before this thing comes in, before the rabbit actually comes in to meet the Mad Hatter kind of has his tea and his, his bread, his jellies, his cakes, and all of this stuff. And he has his cards at the bottom, and he's kind of just doing his thing, and he's kind of in his zone. And then the rabbit kind of pops up like, hey, how you doing? And he's like, oh my goodness, I've been looking for you. And he's like, I've been looking for someone just like you. And then this is, this piece, this is what it is that you're trying to get to. This is what you're trying to pull in. This is your next step coming in, but you have to work on it. You have to be diligent on it. You have to lay your cards out, see what it is that you're looking at, and you're inevitably waiting for this other person, this other energy. It might be a contract coming in because you've been putting forth the work and developing something. It might be an opportunity. It might be a person. It might be, whatever the case is, whatever it is, whatever energy you're putting out there, that is inevitably going to return back to you, because that's how energy and law of attraction and manifestation works. But you have to be putting in your fourth of the effort. You have to be not focusing on so much when that other piece is going to come in, and focusing more on the development of getting you to that next phase. And then that's when that thing is going to come in, because you're doing the work. It's not going to come in before you do what it is that's necessary. And I want to make that very clear. Okay. So, and altogether, what I'm really seeing, for like kind of like a recap, is taking back your power, coming to a place where you can hire your confidence and step into your power and who you are, and kind of rule from a place of strength. So you don't fall victim to your subconscious and the things that are kind of going on underneath in your life, and you can kind of reach this next step that you're looking at, and making sure that you're not fighting the battles that are sent in as distractions, or other people's battles, that you're literally only fighting your own, because you have your own path that you're going down now, and you're trying to bring something in. But as well as that, making sure that you're not rushed, you're going slow, because you don't want to create any issues for yourself, and you want to gain the knowledge that you need to know to do it right the first time, as well as shaking loose the perception that that it's not going to come in for you, or the fear that it's not going to come in for you. Shake that loose, and making sure that you're not getting caught up in the fire energies of things, and that you're not going to be egotistical, and that you're trying to stay in balance, and you're working hard. So what it is that you're trying to achieve can come to you. It can gravitate towards you. It can be pulled to you. And this is kind of, this is what I'm seeing for this week now. I hope that everybody has gained clarity from this message. And if you feel that you need a reading specifically for yourself, please do not hesitate to contact me. I would love to work with you. Now, everybody, please have a great day.